What is up, guys? Welcome back to this unbiased bike check channel. Today on the channel, I'm gonna be giving you guys an unsponsored, unbiased bike check on why I am riding everything I'm riding on my bike. Because some riders out there that are part of the industry are obligated to ride some parts that they might necessarily not want to ride. There could be something out there that they prefer, but for me, I got everything I want on my bike. I'm gonna tell you why I ride it here in this bike check. I mean, I could do the whole bike check here in this double foot jam toothpick on the curb, but I feel like that might not be best. My bike is due for some maintenance, but I thought it'd be cool to do a bike check with just how I'm running it, because this is how I've been riding my bike. I'm also gonna throw clips in this as I talk over why I'm riding some of these parts. So I've been riding this bike for about 2 years now. By far, my favorite bike I have ever ridden. Decided to try something new after a decade, and there's no regrets. Been riding the Garrett Reynolds Fiend V2 for over 2 years now. Got a 75.5 degree head tube, so it's a little steeper than my last frame, but overall, everything is better. Like when I switched this frame, nothing was weird. Like everything was just a little bit easier, which is a little different because when you change a frame, you kind of have to get used to things. This, everything just felt easier, which is like crazy, but I love it. Frame is actually my longest lasting BMX frame since I started riding BMX. And I've had it for 2 years, and you guys have seen the channel. I'm not really too gentle with the bike. The fact that this frame has lasted me 2 years is a statement in itself to me. So we got a 20.75 top tube. The rear end on this frame, I believe, is a 13.1. I'll just go ahead and put the stats for the frame right here. On the frame, I did have a titanium seat clamp bolt because it has an internal seat clamp. I broke that, and now I have a Ace Hardware bolt there, but it works. This frame does come with, and it is a must for me to ride a frame, it has the internal chain tensioners. It is a game changer. I'll never ride a BMX frame that does not have internal chain tensioners, because sometimes your wheel will get loose over time, and with 4 pegs your wheels might shift. But with the chain tensioners, I'm having little to no issues with my wheels moving. It helps keep it in line, so I'm never going back to any frame that has no chain tensioners inside. We'll just start at the top and work our way down now that we've got the frame. So on top, we just got some ODI soft grips. These things are beat to shit, and we got a hole in it. It's overlapping my bar end here, because when I do Dragon Slayers, it pulls the grip back. So I always have that unless I'm fixing it. But usually I'm running ODI soft grips, try to get them as long as I can. But sometimes I'll ride the S&M Mike Hoder grips. I have a pair of those in red that I'm gonna throw on this. So if you look here on my handlebars, we have a bunch of electrical tape, which is not really serving its purpose right now, but usually I'll have the electrical tape pulled over the lip of the grip there, and that helps keep it from moving. Like I said, when I do Dragon Slayers, the grip will pull back. Also, when it's hot out and my hands are sweating, you have less moisture getting under the grip, creating throttle grip, which I don't ever want to ride with throttle grip. It cuts in half my ability to do anything. I hate it. So, little bonus for the electrical tape. If you're flipping over like on any trick, it does help protect the handlebar a little bit, so it doesn't hurt to just throw some tape on there. Now we'll move on to the handlebars. We have Garrett Reynolds Fiend handlebars. These come pre-cut to a length I already would like to cut my bars down to. I think it comes to 27.5, which is honestly a perfect length. Nothing too bigger than that. I don't want to be like on a fucking chopper like some of you guys up there. It just doesn't make sense. It's comfortable like this and comes pre-cut. My favorite handlebars I've ever ridden, Fiend Garrett Reynolds bars. These bars come in 2 different heights. I want to say I have the 925s. I am not sure. Either way, I'd run either of them because the length is perfect and that little bit is not going to bother me too much. We also got the No Bar Out sticker from HuskyNation.shop on the Garrett Reynolds bars. Just, you know, it just looks like it should be there from the factory. For some reason it's not, but I put it there. It makes sense. Now we'll move on to the end of the handlebar, which we have the only bar end that should exist in BMX, and that is the Odyssey par end. whatever plastic these are, they last so much longer than like the ODI ones that will eventually just like get decapitated, and the body of it will just will live in your handlebar forever. You don't want that. I don't know if I've ever broken these. I've had them fall out before. That's probably just because they were neglected. So favorite bar ends right there, Odyssey bar ends. They actually did just start selling these in little buckets, I think. Used to have to buy Odyssey grips, which was kind of annoying to get some of the par ends, but now they sell the little buckets, so I'll probably buy a bucket of those here in the future. Moving down to the stem here, we have a Fiend Garrett Reynolds front load stem. This stem has been on my bike before I was riding the Fiend frame. This thing saved me because the last Sunday frame I had, they increased the head tube height by ½ an inch, and plus all the handlebars were just getting taller and taller. So I think I had an Odyssey Brock Rayford stem, which gave the handlebars like an inch rise with the top load, and I felt like I didn't know how to do anything. Like everything felt so sus. Did not like it. So I went back to a front load, and this thing brought back all the bike control, and it feels so much better. I'm never riding a top load again. I think it's a 48mm length, perfect length. But now to the headset, we have a Fiend headset as well. We have a lot of Fiend parts. I like all the dudes that are behind the scenes at Fiend, so I have a lot of Fiend stuff because, you know, headsets don't really matter. They're mostly going to be the same quality. It's just about like what brand you want to support. I like Fiend a lot, so I have a lot of Fiend parts on my bike now, and they're really good. So it kind of matches with the whole Fiend theme. They do have actually like a short cap and a tall cap. I want to say this is the tall cap. I went back to the carbon spacer because I missed having it, and it makes my bike super light. Coming down to the forks here, we have the Odyssey Foreskin forks, also known as the Odyssey R25, just like a 25mm offset from the head tube. These come with a lifetime warranty, but I think I'm going to be switching on the next bike for experimental purposes. You know, we've been riding a while, we're experimenting. I might go a little steeper, but I've had these on the bike for 2 years, and I like them better than my 32s, especially since I've been doing a lot more balance stuff. The tighter the bike feels, the better my balance seems to be. So I like the 25s, but we're going to keep that theory going and go slightly steeper. Coming down to the front wheel, we have an Odyssey Anagram front wheel laced to a G-Sport bird cage with the fucking lemonade sticker. Bird cages are pretty light. It's the lighter end on the G-Sport, but they hold up pretty good. I have broke some, but I'm a husky dude, and I put a lot of force on them. But I go back to them. They feel good. G-Sport Hex nipples, I believe, hexagon. So it's a lot harder to strip them out compared to your like square ones that you would normally get. And it comes with its own tool. I like the tool. Also want to shout out BK at Scotty Kramer's Bike Shop for giving me a couple tie spokes. I just put them in here because he was like taking a tie wheel apart. I'm like, let me throw a couple in my wheel. Just want to see if they lasted, and they have lasted. They're in there just like the other ones. Did change the tires since my last bike. I was running the Demolition Momentum tires, which those tires are good. The Odyssey R-Grip K-Lite tires, my second pair since I built this bike. I do like them. I do feel like they're probably maybe 10% weaker than the Momentum, but they are a foldable tire, and I believe they are maybe an ounce or two lighter on both tires. Those are in the front and in the back. We've got Tubolito tubes in the tire. I haven't done a sponsored video for Tubolito, but they have sent me some to try out. I do like the tubes, but the price point where they're at right now, I wouldn't recommend really buying the tubes. They do hold up good. I think they say they're 2 times stronger in a third of the weight of a normal tube, but I have seen some knockoff ones that are at a better price point that if I was interested, which I'm not really, I don't really care that much about the tube, I would get those though, but I think they're pink. These are orange, so not really much better. I do think they started making them with black valves, which is a smart move because who wants a fucking orange valve cap? It looks stupid. Going back to the hub though, I do like this hub because it comes with hub guards. I haven't had any issues with this hub. These are good hubs. I've been riding the Anagrams for a while. There might be a rear hub change here on the next bike, but we're not getting into that now. This is the current bike. We get down here, we're going over here to the back. This seat that I'm holding in my hands is, let me wait for the thing to go by. This seat right here is by far my absolute most favorite seat I have ever owned and operated in my BMX life. It is the Taimaro Fiend V4, or it's the Fiend Taimaro V4 pivotal seat. We got that bolted up to a Fiend pivotal seat post. I like whatever this seat is stitched with. I'm not sure of the material, but I'm picky about my seats. I do like a nice husky size seat, so this one got me covered on that. It is comfortable, but the most important thing for me is like sometimes when I'm doing like hang fives, or the most would be like a hang nothing. So both my feet are dangling. My ass would like be on here and then it would kind of split down. This seat works really good for keeping the cheeks where they're like. So I like that. Coming down to the pedals here, we have some red Cinema tilt pedals. I was riding the Odyssey OG PCs, which were the JC PCs, the Jim Slinsky pedals. And on those I had a 3D printed side from Zach Gerber that I loved a lot, but last summer it was so hot in Florida, I wanted to start riding with no pads on, which I do have my pads. I'm going to tell you guys which pads I have here in a little bit. I didn't want to have metal pins anymore. These pedals look pretty good, and I'm on my second pair, so I do like these pedals a lot. The only issue with these pedals I have is I like to do crank arm grinds, but I haven't been doing them that much because I don't have a dedicated side, so I always have to make sure I'm on my shittier side when I do a crank arm grind, because you know, you got a 210-pound guy on a plastic pedal. Plastic pedal and the little pins are not going to win. They're going to deteriorate, which they have been a little bit, but I honestly haven't been doing many crank arm grinds. I am open-minded to finding a better pedal solution. I know there's some out there that have the dedicated grind side, which I do like those for grinding, as well as they are a cheat code for doing inverts. Just slides right up. You just hit the shoulder, hit the shoulder. Coming down to the crank arm, we have another fine Fiend product, and that is going to be the Fiend segment cranks in the length of 165 millimeters. But the 165s feel great, especially with riding 4 pegs. You give yourself, even though it's 5 millimeters, which is a lot to J Dalton, but they do add up. You get a little bit more foot clearance there for the back peg, which is awesome. So 160 might even be a little better than the 165. And you have both your feet a little closer together, which could be better for spinning and stuff like that. Sprocket, we have an Odyssey LaGuardia 28 tooth. I started riding a guard sprocket before I even rode pegs because I was tired of breaking sprockets. So I always get the guard sprocket. It is a little heavier, but they ride so much smoother and you're never gonna fucking break one. So highly recommend guard sprockets. We got a Fiend half link chain. Had this thing for over a year on the bike. No problems, never broke it. Good chain. I like the half links too, because then you don't gotta put a half link on to get your wheel exactly where you want it. So half link chains are sick. Coming over to the back wheel, we have like a Venduro 2 cassette, I believe. It's basically an anagram. That comes with a non-drive side guard. It's a 3-paw engagement system on the inside, and it does have reversible paws and springs. Cassette is on, left-hand drive because I'm a righty grinder. Switch the paws and springs around and run this thing as right-hand drive if you want it to. We got the same thing going in the back. We got the G Sport birdcage rim with an Odyssey R-Grip K-Lite tire and a tubolito in there as well. That's basically the whole bike. Besides, I haven't talked about the pegs here. We have Fiend plastic pegs with, I think it's 7K aluminum, so the best aluminum you can get inside these pegs, and these are at the length of 4.5, so 4.5 inches, and they're good. I used to be team metal pegs, guys. After dabbling with both, comparison and contrast, the plastic pegs are better. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to metals. Maybe if we get a titanium peg, I'll try that. But plastic overall, better stats for me, so we're gonna keep the plastic pegs. And you do get a better grind consistency when you have like plastic pegs, plastic hub guard. So it's not like, you know, one thing is sliding smoother than the other, because they're both going to be making contact when you're grinding. So grinds feel a lot smoother with the plastic pegs. That's the bike, guys. I do get this question asked quite a bit. We got the helmet here. Let's check out the sticker job. Give it a little appreciation here, okay? Custom. We got our boy Shinron on top. Join the movement, guys. Mom's against baby. This is a Burn EPS 2 helmet. Good helmet. You can get these things on Amazon. They have a bunch of different colors. They have the MIPS, which is like a little system. If you hit your head, the padding will move, but the helmet will stay there, so less chance of a serious head injury. It does have the hard foam in it, so the helmet doesn't really flex. You can touch your hands together. Basically not even wearing a helmet. It's not gonna help you, and you're gonna look like a fucking idiot. You might as well look like an idiot with a helmet that actually works. They changed the back here. So before I had like one of those little buckle straps. This one we have this little like elastic system here. I liked it at first, but I feel like the elastic wears out. So sometimes when it's on my head, it's not as snug as I want it to be. So I'm kind of in the market for looking for another helmet, unless you can change that piece out. I'm not sure. But that's the helmet. Good helmet, bunch of different colors, certified, and it's on Amazon. Not sponsored, but just telling you guys how I got it. Move over to the knee pad here. We have a POC VPD knee pad. I'm not sure which ones these are. These are strapless though. I did have the strap ones before this, and I was having an issue with like the hard Velcro. It would kind of go to the knee and like be irritating you. It'd like roll. These are really good. They have this like little rubbery grippy thing inside. The elastic feels good. They don't really move that much. These are kind of expensive on the knee pad market, but they work so good. I keep getting them and they last you a couple years or so. I wash them. Just wash them and air dry them and they'll last a while, and they don't smell bad. That was dangerous. I did it. I'm brave. The other pad I wear is the Fuse Whip shin guards. It just has like this little plastic on the inside, little padding. This thing always fucking comes off, and I just put a sticker on it to hold it together. Favorite part about the shin guard though is that it has this little hard pad for the inside of your leg. Nice for doing whips, extra padding. It also gives you a better pinch on the bike, so I like that padding a lot. Got 2 Velcro straps on the back here, as well as this ankle pad here. It also came with an elastic that connected these two that you're supposed to put under the heel. I cut that shit off because I can feel it when I'm riding, and I only want to feel my pedals. What I do with these to help them from moving is I wear one pair of like ankle high socks. Then I'll put on a longer pair of socks that go about like mid shin on this and pull it over the shin pad, and then my pads are really not going to move that much. I don't have to adjust them throughout the session. That's going to be it for this bike check, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like, because I already know. I haven't done it yet, but you guys saw it. I had to go through a lot of videos and put some clips in here for you guys to make it more exciting. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. I have a bunch of how-tos if you guys are getting into BMX. You just go to my channel, you go to playlists, there's how-tos on there. I'm gonna start doing those more. Thank you guys for watching my channel, and thank you to everyone who's helped me with this beautiful machine here. I love you. What? Have a good one.